What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nash, and today we have our fourth video, I believe, of our Excel for Analysts videos. And we're going to be looking into concatenation, which is essentially, let me show you here in a little bit, but that's what we're going to be focused on today. So let's go ahead and minimize this, and we are going to put it right here so it doesn't block anything. All right, that's good. All right, so we have the Google definition of concatenation, which is essentially to combine or join together. So that's what it means. So in the previous video, if we go back to this tab here, we had the text to columns, which was essentially showing us how to split text into different columns. And now we're going to learn how to combine it. So I want to give you a realistic example here where, this is in this data here. Let me go ahead and zoom in. All right, so in this data here, you can see that we have last name, comma, space, first name, right? So let's say we wanted this to be first name and last name. So there's a couple ways you could do this. So the first way I want to show you how to do is, let's pretend these aren't names, right? We wanted to rearrange this into a first name, last name, easy. So the first thing I would do, I would utilize what we learned in the text to columns video, which is splitting this into different columns by selecting this entire thing, going to data and going to text to columns, choosing delimited, clicking next and changing this to comma and next and switching to text, and there we go. So now we have our, what happened here? I don't know what happened here. So let's go ahead and fix this real quick. Okay, comma, let's see here. Okay, here we go. We have that now. All right, so this is our last name. This is our first name, okay? Last and first. Let's go ahead and make this bold. All right, cool. So let's say I wanted this to be first name, last name in one column, right? How do you do that? So what you can do is you can actually, let's go ahead and say, let's say full name here, full name. So we have labels. These actually help you if you have a lot of data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the concat formula. So I'm going to go ahead and equal sign concat. This is the formula here, concat. I'm going to open parenthesis. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the first thing I want to combine, right? It means to join together. The two things I want to join together, I'm going to select the first one, which is the first name. So select this cell, which is B2. I'm going to put a comma. And now I'm going to go ahead and select the second thing that I want to join together, okay? Which is the last name right here, which is cell, what is it, A2, okay? I'm going to close this. I'm going to show you how this looks. Enter. There we go. Now we have Nash Theo, okay? So if you look at this, you see that we are missing one thing. We need a space between the first and last name, obviously, okay? Now what you can do here is you can click in here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and edit the formula. I'm gonna select the cell. I can go up here. Let me just redo the formula. You can edit the formula by using this up here, okay? But in this example, I want to redo this so I can show you how you can add the space in between the two things that you're joining, or maybe three things. You can do that. Actually, I'm going to show you an example of how to do that. So I'm going to do equal sign, concat here, and I'm going to select the first right here. To add a space, you want to put things in quotes, right? You want to put a space in quotes. So I'm going to open up quote, add a space, hitting the space bar, close the quote. There we go. So now this is our space. I'm gonna do comma, and I'm gonna select the second our second thing we're trying to join, second text we're joining. There we go. Now we have a space. Okay, this looks really awesome. Now you can drag the formula down like that. You have the same thing here. Okay, same thing. So now let's pretend that this last person here had. Let's just copy Tori's. Let's say they had an initial, which is R, okay? That's their initial. I want to combine all three things into, where you have first name, space, initial, space, last name. How do you do this? I'm going to go ahead and use the concatenation formula. So concat, like that. And we're going to go ahead and select the first thing, which is the first name, which is Tori, comma. I'm going to add the space, I'm going to open, a quote. And close that and comma. Now I'm gonna select the middle initial because that's what we need next. So initial, comma. Now I'm gonna add another space as well. So like that, like we've been doing, comma as well, and I'm gonna select the last the last name. There we go. Now we have Tori R. Ha, right? Pretty easy, and this is a pretty cool formula you can use to combine a lot of things. And I want to show you another example of how you can use this with social security numbers. If you have seen sometimes when they show the last 4 digits of a social security and everything else is, is shown as a bunch of X's, I want to show you how to do that. So let's say, let's call this secure social, okay, something like that. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and type in our concatenation formula right here, open parenthesis. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, just like I showed you that you can add a space by putting 2 quotes and adding a space in between. So the formula is gonna read that as is. It's not gonna think that it's a number, it's anything else. Whatever you type in between those quotes is gonna show up within the formula. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and open up parenthesis. I'm gonna do a bunch of 3 X's, right? The social security numbers, they have like 3 digits in the beginning. So 1, 2, 3. Let me do uppercase actually. 1, 2, 3, and then dash, and then there's 2 numbers, XX, and another dash. Now, I'm gonna close the quote. There you go. I'm gonna put a comma. Now, what I need to do is grab the last 4 digits of the social security number. Now, if you remember from the last lesson, which was the text to columns, we actually used the right and the left formula to pick a specific, to pull a specific number of characters and put them somewhere else. So now what we can do here is we can actually combine 2 formulas. We can put the right formula in the concat formula, right? This is called nesting when you combine 2 formulas at once. This might feel a little advanced, but that's how you learn. You get introduced to advanced things like really quick. So I'm gonna type in the right formula inside here. So you don't need to put the equal sign since this is a nested formula. I'm gonna put right, okay? Open up parenthesis. Now I'm gonna go ahead and select. If you remember from the last lesson, we select the cell that we're trying to pull the characters from, right? So this one, I'm gonna add a comma. I'm trying to pick the last 4 from the right, right? So like I said before, you go from the right to the left. So we're gonna count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our 4 digits that we want at the end of this formula. I'm gonna go ahead and put in 4, right? I'm gonna go ahead and close my right formula like that. Now we also have our concat formula still open here. We're gonna close it by closing the parenthesis here. Go ahead and click enter. There we go. Now we have a social security number where you have a bunch of X's in the beginning, kind of like a secure social security number that doesn't show you the whole thing, and we have our last 4. So that's the cool thing about this. You can do the same thing with this. Let's do that. I think that's, yeah, or this is too many. Okay, that, drag down the formula, kind of like the same concept. So this is how you can concatenate text or strings. Text is also known as string when it comes to programming and things like that. So I might use the words interchangeably. So this is how you're going to be able to do this. It's a really, really great formula that you can utilize when you are trying to fix, a bunch of things, when you're trying to combine something that's in a cell with text, like we just did here with, with this social security number, which is cool. You can also do something like, let's say you can do, so concat, let's do concat here. And you can do something like, let's say you want to grab, let's say just this full name here that we have over here, right? C2. And we're going to say something like, let's see here. Let's see, we're going to say something in quotes. Let's say space is, what is that? Full name, right? I can type name, close the quote, and close that. You might want to fix that. We have a double parenthesis here. Did that accidentally. Close that. There you go. So now we combined the name right here that we have with text that says his full name, right? Something like that. It doesn't have to be in uppercase, but you get the idea. Whatever you put in quotes is gonna show up as is. So yeah, so that is how you can use, that's the basic way of using the concatenation formula. I think this is a powerful formula if you're working with a lot of data that doesn't match, if you have to rearrange things and add different things to your data. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.